What's up guys, this week we have Calvin Kattar versus Josh Emmett headlining the card. It's an absolute banger of a featherweight fight and this is a real dark horse of the division fight for me. But before we get into it guys, this video is sponsored by Full Reptile Collective, brought to you by Dan Hardy. Head over to their website at fullreptile.co.uk where you can find anything from training gear, t-shirts, hoodies, all the way to coffee. For an exclusive 10% off, use Dan Said So at checkout. Make sure to also check out their YouTube channel for some of the best MMA content out there, bar my own. Let's get back to the video. Okay, both of these guys are the dark horses of the division for me, as I say. Calvin Kattar has beaten the best of the best, but when it comes to the elite, and I mean, when I say the elite, I mean the top two guys, pretty much. It's like Max Holloway really put a clinic on Calvin Kattar, which put him as an underdog against Giga Chikadze. If you remember back to my video, if you guys have seen it, I picked Calvin Kattar and I got a little bit hammered in the comments for picking Calvin in this fight. I thought a lot of people have just forgotten all the good work he's done, the high volume, and I'm sure a lot of people are back on Calvin Kattar's train after that fight because they realised Giga is great, but he's very one-dimensional, whereas Calvin has proven time again he's got the toughness, the endurance, the speed, technique, precision power shots. He moves extremely well. He manages the distance brilliantly. He does take some shots, which is where the concern will come in later on when we talk about Josh Emmett, but what he does do is he works harder than you from minute 1 to minute 25, and this is a 25-minute fight, so he's got all the experience in the world for that as well. So what he did against Giga really well is he found the weak spot. He took him down. He absolutely mullered his leg to bits. That chopping outside low kick to the calf was so detrimental to Giga's game because he couldn't put any pressure on it. He couldn't use his movement, which is one of the, his biggest strengths, and he wasn't allowing himself to use the precision right hand, which he showed in the first round how fast and dangerous he was. But Kattar did brilliantly, just negating all of that. Again, the other loss recently, well, I say recently, it was a few years ago now, but when he lost to Zabit, that's another way that maybe he could be exploited in this one. But again, if that was a 5-round fight, I favour Kattar. He was turning the tides in that fight. That third round was all Kattar against Zabit. He just showed that if you can't finish him, he will beat you. Other than Max Holloway. But Max Holloway is a specimen, and he is, in my opinion, the king of the cage. I know Volkanovski got the decision last time out. I still stand by Max Holloway won that fight, but those two guys are top of the tree and no one else seems to be close to those guys. Brian Ortega's probably next in line, but again, lost to both of those guys as well. So we go over to Josh Emmett, guys, the guy with nuclear hands. He honestly has kettlebells for a right hand. Like, his power hooks, when he steps in and throws that overhand right, it's so fast and so powerful. I don't know how Shane Burgos did not get KO'd. Why he was disappointed with the result, I don't know. Like, he was out-voluming Josh Emmett. He was kicking the inside of his leg out, so, stopping the advanced pressure of Emmett, but it didn't really do much to the damage side of it. Burgos was getting lit up when Josh Emmett got inside that pocket, and that's what I'm scared of here against Kattar. Can he take those bombs for 25 minutes? Because Josh didn't seem to slow down over 15 minutes, and he went 15 minutes really hard. He does train in the wrestling really well. I think he's a better wrestler than Calvin Kattar, so if anyone's going to do the wrestling in this, I think it will be Josh Emmett. The way he did not like those leg kicks that Shane Burgos was dealing with him. So he tried to grapple him against the fence, and then from the fence, if he couldn't get the successful takedown, he exchanged on the break. He clinically hit him with the body shots, with the hooks. It was just power hooks is his weapon. Does love a hard elbow as well, breaking out the clinch, but it's mainly the power hooks, which is a really one-dimensional way to fight. But because he's so good at it, and he has power that will just shut your lights off instantly. Ask Michael Johnson, ask Mercer Bektik. That's the worry here for Calvin Kattar. He has been one of the toughest guys ever to finish, Calvin Kattar. People can't do it. Max Holloway got the record amount of strikes against him, and he took the year off, and he needed that year off, and I'm glad he did. Josh Emmett, I don't know, he's got way more power than Volkanovski to me, so it's going to be interesting if he does land a number of these shots against Kattar. So for me, guys, it's all about if Emmett can get inside that range and land those heavy shots. And Kattar has to dance around the outside. He has to be on his bike like he was with Giga, but for the full 25 minutes, because that first 10 minutes of Emmett as well, even the first 15, is going to be so dangerous. I think this is going to be one of the toughest fights Kattar's ever had to have, because stylistically, Emmett is a nightmare for people. He's so strong. In a clinch, he is damn strong. From a takedown perspective, he's ridiculous. and then from inside the pocket, you're getting slept. I mean, he beat the crap out of Dan Ige, beat the crap out of Shane Burgos. I think with 25 minutes, you might see the best Josh Emmett you've ever seen. He might need that extra 10 minutes just to absolutely tear people apart. But for me, guys, I will side with Kattar. I think Kattar can dance around him for long enough. I think he can expose that leg as well, get that league leg chopped. I think he's got better leg kicks than Shane Burgos, and I think he'll know to exploit the movement so he can't sit down heavy on that leg and get more power into that overhand right. So I've got Kattar in this one, guys, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comments, guys, who you think is going to win. Like the video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. It's a great main event. Enjoy the fights, guys. See you in the next one. Cheers.